Hello, welcome to Justice Watch Weekly News Roundup of Corruption. Our first story is about two police officers, PC Michael Burnfield and PC Ian Patterson from Essex Police. They were given final written warning after they decided to strip a 16-year-old boy in a police van. So the police can now strip search you in the back of a police van where there's no cameras to keep them accountable. But not only that, they can also do it if you're a child. So they're taking children into the back of police vans and strip searching them, which is a form of sexual assault. But not only is this a sexual assault, but this is a weapon used by the police to degrade and humiliate the public. The perfect example of this would be an ex-police officer called Robert Brennan. He was jailed this year for a second time for child porn offences. But not only was this guy a former police officer, but he worked as part of the child protection team within the police force. He served just under 30 years as a police officer. So within those 30 years, you're telling me that no other police officer in this closed community, this tight-knit community, did not know that he was raping children or had a fetish for raping children. 30 years. I don't believe it. Also this week, a police officer appeared in court accused of sexting crime victims. This shows how these police officers are abusing their positions for their own sexual fetishes. Another police officer this week was sacked, which is very rare, was sacked after a teenager went missing and a search was carried out to find this teenager who was missing. And this teenager was found, and this police officer was part of that force, and he decided to contact this teenager via Snapchat and Instagram in order to persuade him or her to have sex with him. This year alone, there has been at least 13 reports of sex crimes committed by police officers in this country, ranging from rape to pedophilia to sending victims of photos of their penises. Some were jailed, some were spare jail. One police officer was jailed for 9 years for 9 sexual offences. Timothy Wrighton from Kent Police. So these are the ones that are only reported, and these are the only ones that are successfully convicted, which is very, very low number. So the actual real number of rapists and paedophiles within the police force is huge. Why is that? The next story is about a student who was killed in 2010 by the hands of the police. It comes up this week because a disciplinary hearing is about to take place over the death of this student. However, it's going to be held behind closed doors. An inquest found that the student was subjected to unnecessary, unreasonable, and excessive force, which contributed to the student's death. Now, throughout all these articles written by these prostitutes, not one of them will say what it is, which is murder. They killed this young man by using unreasonable and excessive force, unnecessary force. They killed him. But yet, not one article mentions the word killer, killed, murderer, or murder. And of course, these people are not going to face charges of murder in the disciplinary hearing. They will face gross misconduct charges. But if you and me were to kill someone, we would be charged with murder, not gross misconduct. This shows once again how long the process is to get justice, which is almost impossible to get justice. But shows the lack of concern for the family who's left behind, the family who has to live with this.
I feel victimised. Our whole family feels victimised.
But you've done nothing wrong.
No, exactly. That's it. That's it.
But we've been paying for it for the last 7 years.
In positive news, the Met could be issuing head-mounted cameras for the firearm squads. Now this should give us some transparency and keep some officers accountable. But as we know, police having cameras doesn't really solve anything, since they can turn them off or cover them, or the footage can disappear when needed. This story is about bin lorries being equipped with cameras in order to spy on the public. Bin men are now being employed by the councils in order to spy on us, to see what we consume. Once again, this is another step into fascism. This story may not seem that important to you, but when you add this story up with the other stories, it paints a very scary image of this police state which we now live in. The perfect example of this police state which we live in is now we have spies that are spying on the spies that are spying on us. This new government body called the IPC, similar to the IPCC, will overlook the surveillance of the public by the police, GCHQ, MI5, MI6, and so on. At first you may think this is a positive story, how the spies are being checked, but we shouldn't have to have this IPC here. We should not be under so much surveillance that they need another body to survey the surveillance. Talking about MI5, do you remember they said they were going to do an internal investigation into their handling of the bombing in Manchester at the arena? We've heard nothing from that, have we? And we won't hear nothing. Because MI5 were highly complicit in that bombing. If you want to read more, check out the article in the description below. We also have found out this week that the brother of the suicide bomber has not been questioned by police. Not because that he's in Libya at this moment, but because they won't. Because they know that our own intelligence agencies were involved in the bombing. Keeping with the same theme of the police state, We found out this week that the police have over 20 million facial recognition images of innocent people. This comes after the Notting Hill Carnival last weekend, where they used facial recognition technology for the first time. It's just scary, isn't it?